Ever feel stuck? Like you're just reacting to whatever life throws at you instead of actually designing it? Well, we're about to break down a super simple but really powerful 5-step framework that's all about taking back the steering wheel and building the life you actually want. Let's dive in. You really got to ask yourself this. We all kind of think inaction is the safe bet, right? It feels like we're avoiding failure. But the thing is, there's a tipping point where just staying put, waiting for that perfect moment that never comes, that ends up costing you way, way more than any failure ever could. And yeah, this lays it all out, doesn't it? Staying stuck, it feels safe. But what it really guarantees is that you go nowhere, and you're almost definitely going to regret it later. Now, starting over? Sure, it's scary. It feels like a huge risk, but it's also the only way you get a shot at real growth, a shot at a completely new reality. All right, so let's dive into that first big idea, really understanding what it costs you to just wait. And this is the mind shift you have to make. Feeling stuck? Feeling confused? That's not actually the issue. The real problem, the one we need to fix, is making the choice, even passively, to stay there instead of grabbing the controls yourself. Okay, so how do you actually take control? Well, it all kicks off with one single, powerful decision. And here it is. That decision is to take 100% responsibility. Now hold on. This isn't about blaming yourself. We're not looking backward at what went wrong. It's about looking forward and accepting, like truly accepting, that from this second forward, where you go is completely in your hands. I know, this can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's also the most freeing thing you'll ever realize. Waiting around for someone else to come rescue you, a new boss, a partner, some magical stroke of luck, it's just not going to happen. That's a game you can't win. The only person who can truly fundamentally change your life is you. And listen, this is so, so important. The second you really get this, deep down in your bones, that you are the one in charge of making a change, that's it. That's the lightning bolt. That is the exact moment the needle starts to move. It's the starting line for everything that comes next. Okay, so you've accepted responsibility. Awesome. What now? Well, now we get to the fun part, actively designing your future. And this whole thing is built on 3 key pillars. Most of us just drift. We react to stuff, we adapt, we let our surroundings mold us. But there's another way. You can define. That means you consciously choose who you want to become. You set your own standards. You act with intention, no matter what's happened before or what's going on right now. All right, pillar number 2 is a huge one. It's just recognizing this simple truth. Your environment is always shaping you. Always. It's like a current, and it's either pulling you forward or it's holding you back. And here's the kicker. If you don't change your environment, you can't be surprised when you keep getting the same old results. So what are we talking about here, practically? Well, it's the people you hang out with, it's the stuff you consume, the shows you watch, the articles you read, the podcasts you listen to. It's even the conversations you decide to be a part of. If you want to change the output, your life, you have to get intentional about these inputs. And that brings us to the third and final pillar, the one that makes everything else real, action. Look, you can dream up a new identity, you can totally curate a perfect environment, but if you don't actually do anything, none of it matters. It's all just talk. And this right here, this is where the magic happens. Consistent action, day in and day out, is the engine that takes all those ideas and decisions inside your head and turns them into something real, something you can see and touch in the world. We think progress comes from these big bursts of motivation. It doesn't. It's not about waiting for the perfect mood to strike. It's built through the boring, unsexy work of just showing up and doing it again and again. It's about putting in the reps on the days you absolutely do not feel like it. That is what builds momentum. So as you're taking all this action, your main focus should be on creating value. And let's get really clear on what we mean by value. This isn't about looking successful or building an image. It's way simpler. It's about being useful. It's about solving actual problems for actual people. And you have to see this as a direct cause and effect. The better you get at creating value at solving those problems, the more your own world opens up. Seriously, new opportunities start popping up, your income potential goes up, and you just grow faster than you thought possible. Okay, so let's try this all together with a really important idea. You gotta get that this isn't a one-and-done kind of fix. It's a process. It's a journey you stay on. So here it is, the whole blueprint, broken down into 5 simple steps. Number 1,
Take 100% responsibility. 2. Define your new identity. 3. Shape your environment on purpose. 4. Act consistently. And 5. Focus everything on creating real value. That's it. That's the plan to get you moving.
And really, that's the promise behind all of this. Once you commit to this framework, moving forward isn't something that just might happen if you get lucky. No way. It becomes intentional. It becomes something you are actively designing every single day.
Listen, there isn't some magic moment coming where everything suddenly clicks and becomes easy. It just doesn't work like that. There's only the process. So the only question that matters right now is this. You've got the blueprints in your hand. What's the very first thing you're going to design for your life, starting today?